when the manager takes a job at any football club, surely the first, especially when they're going in the summer, surely one of the first questions any sensible manager would ask is, right, how much money have we got available? Yeah. And are we going to close deals for X, Y, Z and player? Because I've got a list of players I want, and I've seen enough of these players that you've got here, and I want to get rid of these players. At that point, you know which direction that club's going in before you've accepted the job.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe they've lied to him then. So if they've lied to him, why is he still sticking up for him? I'm not just talking about Ten Hag. I'm talking about a lot of managers. Conte was the same.
I'll tell you why, though, they'll do this, because I understand, like, and maybe you have this logic of like, I'm just going to call them out. But at the end of the day, Ten Hag wants to be successful at Manchester United. And whilst the Glazers are the owners, and the situation has changed over the course of the year, and he actually called them out in a press conference 3 days ago. I don't know if you watched it, where he spoke about a club like Man United needs to have money available. We need to go out and sign the best players, and I need to be able to sign the best players. He didn't say the Glazers are a bunch of tosspots and they're tight.
Okay, so if he doesn't get the players he wants in the summer, he's walking then. No, of course he ain't. He'll sit there until he gets sacked.
Maybe not. But again, let me ask you a question then. So do you expect, if a manager doesn't get something they want, should they all just quit their job? Because I say that because every time I've listened to managers speak about their experiences at clubs, even clubs they were successful at, they will all say, hey, I wanted that, and the club couldn't put it on.
It's give and take. At the same time, your job.
But so I want to answer on the question. So if a manager doesn't get what he wants, so do you think he should just go straight into a press conference, slag the board off, and quit?
Well, no, not immediately, no. But at the end of the day, if he's been told you can have X, Y, Z when you're coming to my club, yeah, and we're going to employ you, you want this, we'll get you this, or we'll guarantee this, or we'll guarantee that, and you're getting guarantees, and then them guarantees don't go through, call them out all day long. Jose's done it, Conte's done it, other managers have done it, Terry.
So I understand calling them out, but this is the point. We don't know what the promises are and are not. If he said, I want to sell Maguire, and they've said, yeah, but we're only going to do it for the right price, maybe they've agreed on that. So there's a mutual element here. At the same time, they say, we're going to sell Maguire for you, and no one puts a bid in. That's nobody at Man United's fault. You've just got to ride that out. That's the way it works. And the point I'm making is I feel like you're looking for every which way to be negative about Ten Hag, as opposed to being...
It's not about Ten Hag. Yeah, it's not about
Well, you mentioned Ten Hag.
I mentioned Ten Hag on a video on a different, my other channel, my second channel. I mentioned them there. Should he be sacked if he don't get top four? Yeah, that's rattled fans all over the world crying, oh, where should he be sacked? Well, because he's won the Carabao Cup. Cool, great, but he's bottled a 13-point lead. So Liverpool, by the end of this week, they'll be fifth. Yeah, because you ain't beating Wolves. Yeah, and they're going to win their 3 games. Have you seen their 3 games? They're winning all 3. You need 9 points out of 12. You ain't getting 9. Where you're playing, you'll be lucky to get 3. Yeah, but if he bottles top 4, he should be sacked. This is Manchester United. Yeah, well done. You've won us the Carabao Cup. Cool, great. Put that in the cupboard. Thank you very much. Now it's Fergie said it all the time. Terry, you know more about Man United than I ever will. Yeah, you supported them for donkeys. Yeah, Fergie used to say, "Lovely, jubbly dust in there. Go and celebrate for the night."
I'm confused, though, Lee. I'm confused, though, Lee. Because you've sat on here before and gone mad at fans for saying top 4 is nothing. It's all about trophies. Yeah. Now you're saying that the trophy means nothing, and he should be sacked for not making the thing that you said isn't important.
No,
chasing the money.
Terry, he's won you a trophy. I'll explain this to you. He's won you a trophy. He's won you a trophy. Cool. That is the aim of elite sport. He's completed the aim of elite sport in that particular competition. He's got you to another final. I'm not saying sack him. I'm saying there's a debate there to be had. But if you don't get your top 4, he should be sacked. Because Manchester United are not in the Champions League.
So top 4 is an achievement that's...
No. You're twisting my words because you ain't letting me finish. Right? And I'll give you the easiest way to balance it, yeah? Real Madrid won the Copa del Rey at the weekend. They're in a Champions League semi. That Copa del Rey they won at the weekend was the 6th trophy Ancelotti's won in 12 months. Mm-hmm. If he gets knocked out, or even if he gets to the final and loses, or even maybe wins it, he is getting sacked. Why? Why would he get sacked, Terry? He would have won 6 or 7 trophies in 2 years. Why? Because the standards of Real Madrid are up there. The standards of Man United should be up there because it's Manchester United. You're on par with Real Madrid. Let's not play like you're a tiny little club. You're Real Madrid size or more.
So I understand that. I understand. And we've got to get ourselves back to a level.
You've won a trophy. Well done.
Hang on. So we've got to get ourselves back to the standard that Real Madrid are at. We've been away from that for a long, long time because we've fallen off. So I agree that we've got to get back to that standard. But you've sat on this show for 2 years with me and stated that getting top 4 isn't an achievement. It's about winning trophies. Now, not getting top 4 is a sackable offence. That doesn't make sense to me. I think that means you've been capping all along. Because I think getting the top 4 is massively important along with trophies. But you've stated before, don't want top 4.
Top 4 is irrelevant unless you're going to go and try and win it. Yeah, that's it. And my team don't bother trying to win it. They're only there to make up the numbers. Man United have actually won it and actually have a better record in it than we ever will.
Right.
Yeah, so the idea is you get in the Champions League, you spend a few quid and actually go and try and win it. And that's my point. By getting into the Europa League, you're now not going for the biggest competition, so it's a failure.
So if Man United do make the top 4, because I believe with the right investment we could do well in it, does that mean I'm allowed to celebrate it if I think we can win it?
You can do what you want. I couldn't care less, tell.
But you're like me, you do care because we give opinions on football matters. If a Man United fan celebrates being in the top 4 now, because we believe we'll spend to try and win it.
Celebrate what they want. They've won a trophy.
But you think that's okay.
They have to get in that Champions League next season and go and win it, or try and win it. Get to the final.
So at least we've established that making the top 4 is an achievement.
No. Champions League football should be the bare minimum requirement every season. We're in the chat. It should be accepted. I'll give you an example. The Ramon Calderon at Real Madrid's interview on Sky Sports today, he said, when we sign players, they come to Real Madrid, former president, they come to Real Madrid. It's not seen as success to win the Champions League. It is an obligation. His words. Yeah. What has happened to your football club that you're sitting there going, oh, well, we shouldn't sack him if he does. No, it should be an obligation you get in the Champions League regardless of everything.
So I look at it from this perspective, right? I understand where Real Madrid are. But I think the reality that you're missing is that Man United are Man United by name only in 2023 and finances. We need to get back to that point. And in my belief and my understanding, because I don't know of an example in top flight football where a giant club who has fallen off for more than 10 years, in the space of 1 year, has gone back to being one of the elite teams in the world and sustained it. So Inter Milan may be an example. I don't know of one who have dropped off and been nowhere. And even last year,
Atletico Madrid's another one.
Okay, so they have gone through a point. So Atletico Madrid have gone from being an obscure team for over a decade to be, and within a space of a year, just gone from being pure shit to being one of the top 2, top 3 teams in Europe.
Well, they have. Go and have a look at them.
No, I'm asking. I'm not.
Milan's the same. You're trying to make out that this is revolutionary.
Stop! I don't want to get into a fight.
Ask me a question.
Lee, because you can't. Because I want to say something to you. I want to say something. I'm not challenging you. I'm asking you a genuine question.
But then you don't let me answer it.
Yeah, because you're. So again, you've answered it. So have they done that? When did they do that?
Inter Milan won a treble, Terry. Do you not remember that?
So the year before they won the treble. Hang on.
See, you've asked me a question. I can't answer it.
No, because I'm trying to get to the bottom. So the year before they won the treble, what were they doing?
Fuck all. Look at AC Milan. How long ago were AC Milan champions? They won the league, last season, and they're in a Champions League semi-final this season. Is that sustaining it? Because they dropped off for God knows how long. Because Juve won 10 in a row. Then Inter won it. Yeah, then Napoli have just won it. How many years did AC Milan go without winning the title? Yeah, and now they've won a title last season. They're not winning it this season, but they're in the Champions League semi-final tomorrow. Is that sustaining it? How can AC Milan do it?
Hang on a minute.
Pensioners up front.
Hang on a minute. They did the treble. So they did the treble in 2010, Inter Milan. But in 2009, 2008, and 2007 and 2006, they won the league. So they won that treble in 2008 after winning the previous 4 leagues. So they didn't go from being shit to winning the treble in a year. That was 5 years of building, Lee.
Stop right there. In 2006, you said they won the league, yeah?
Yes.
Before that, when did they previously win the league?
They won the league prior to that in 1989. However,
okay, stop right there.
No, because I know what you're going to do, Lee. Let me say this. What were they doing in 2000? Were they a shit team in 2005? Were they were they a mid-table team that was shit in 2005? So this is what I'm talking. No, but this is what I'm saying to you. Until your point about Man United, let's bring it back. To say Man United should go from being where we were last year to where Real Madrid are now in one jump, you need to provide me with examples of teams that were shit forever or shit for the last 10 years and then went to being one of the best teams in the world inside a season and maintained it. Because I don't think it's happened more than once or twice.
1989, they didn't win a league till 2000.
No, I didn't say winning a league. But where were they in 2005? You don't even know. Look, you have to care because that's the starting point. The starting point isn't
second, first. Well, they didn't win it. Where was they that season then? Tell me, because you got the stats up in front of you. So from 1989 to 2006, they didn't win a league.
No, hang on a minute, because I'll go and look at it, right? I need to go and look at the league, right? So Serie A, as an example. Syria. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking you to give me an example and you don't know.
They finished third in 2005. Big up the chat.
Again, there we go. So they were third and then they won a league. They weren't finishing fifth and shit. They didn't go from being dog shit.
Where did you finish last season?
We finished, was it sixth last year? Seventh?
Okay. So what, fifth would be an achievement this season then?
No, it would be a slight improvement, but I'm not going to be, that isn't the point I'm making. The point you've said is that we finished sixth last year. For us to go from sixth to being one of the best teams in Europe in a year, I think it's unprecedented.
Okay, well, Napoli have done it this season. Where
were they last year?
They weren't first. I know that much.
They were in the Champions League this year, so they must have been a top 4 team last year.
Wow.
Whoopee. So my point is,
we were Champions League every year for 20 years, Terry. Who cares?
That has nothing to do with your point.
Unless you're going to go and try and win it,
that's got nothing to do with your point. The point is, you said we've got to be like Real Madrid, but we haven't been anywhere near Real Madrid's level for a decade. We've got to grow to get back there. Your problem is, no, it's not about accepting it. I want to get there. Your problem is you want to ignore the bit in the middle, the hard work to get back to the top. And all the teams you mentioned that are brilliant went through a stage of improvement to get to that level. But you're saying we shouldn't be allowed to have one. That's bullshit, Lee.
Sorry, you've not won a title for how many years? 10, 11 years? 10, 11 years.
What's your point?
So in that time, you've had, 5 managers?
Right.
5 managers, yeah?
The sacking managers doesn't always work if your club ain't run right. Yes, go on.
Well, hold on a sec. You had a manager that won you a trophy in Europe and a League Cup in the same season, and your fans hated him. Mad, isn't it? It's almost like your fans are accepting mediocrity again.
That's irrelevant to do with the point we're making. Make your point.
Well, it's not, because you had a serial winner at your football club that actually came in and won stuff, and then you went on a 5-year trophy drought after you sacked him.
Yeah, and who have I blamed for that? The way the club is run. And I've called that out.
The only reason he got sacked is because your fans were going nuts. No.
He got sacked for calling out players and the owners in the way that you said they should, and that led to the problem. So the reason he got sacked is the reason you're what you're saying Ten Hag should do. And you're blaming the club for doing it. You're in a mess here, Lee. You're in a mess.
Why are players not allowed to be called out?
You're in a mess.
Terry, why are players not allowed to be called out for poor performance after poor performance after poor?
They are allowed to. They are allowed to be.
Wait, how many years ago did he mention about Luke Shaw?
But he wasn't sacked for that. He was sacked for having to go at a player for being at the birth of his child. That's ridiculous.
Do you mean he allowed permission for that?
Yes, he was, and he moaned about it.
Whatever.
So
he's allowed to moan.
The way he spoke about Pogba publicly was a disgrace.
Terry, he has every right to call out players that had Man United in the longest trophy drought for donkeys. Yeah, then he's gone in there, won you 2 trophies.
But they weren't. Hang on a minute. I would still school you here. He wasn't calling out players in our longest trophy drought ever. When Jose joined, we were the FA Cup champions. We literally won a trophy the year that he joined, and Pogba was his signing, won a trophy straight away.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so who did you say? Who was it?
Hang on a minute. So he wasn't stop. He wasn't calling out players who were on our longest trophy drought in ever. They'd won 3 trophies in 2 seasons. Those players. He was calling out people that he'd fallen out with on a personal level. Now listen.
So why did you sack that manager then?
Hang on, Lee.
But you're asking me questions I can't answer. You've said to me
things that aren't true. I didn't ask you a question. I was making a point that you were wrong about something.
Sorry, you just said that you were the FA Cup holders when Jose got the job. You'd won 2 trophies in 2 seasons before he got the job. So why did that manager who won 2 trophies get sacked to give him the job?
What's that got to do with Jose calling people out? I'm asking you a question.
Why did you sack a manager that's won 2 trophies to give another manager a go who then won you 2 trophies and then you sacked him? But now you're sitting there loading up
because he didn't make the top 4.
Oh, okay.
After 2 years, not 1. So you're wrong again, Lee. He had 2 years to do it. And what did I say? If we give this manager a second year and he fouls again, then I'd look at it differently. So there's nothing different coming out of my mouth. And even with Jose, he called out the management and he was right about some things. But how you go about things in life is important. And he became unprofessional and was disgustingly nasty about Man United players like Martial and Pogba. And whether he's right or wrong on the principle, your behavior's still got to be right. You've still got to have some decorum and good form. And he didn't. Viewers, please,
very quickly. Sorry, it's very quickly because I'm going to go.
We're going to run out of time otherwise, bro.
No, I know. Very quickly, yeah. I watched an interview. I think it was of Mexico's manager, yeah, in a press conference. Yeah, it was flicked up on Instagram Reel yesterday. Yeah, of him in a press conference. Then, if players need to be called out or journalists need to be called out, it doesn't matter what club or what country you're representing. Say what you think. Yeah, and if that upsets people, tough. That's why I love Jose. He don't care, mate. Yeah, if he's got something to say, he's saying it. And if you don't like it, he called out Luke Shaw 5 years ago. everything he said about Luke Shaw still stands today. Yeah, he said about Dele Alli in that all or nothing at Tottenham. Your career's going to pass you by, mate, and it's going to be gone like that, and you're finished.
I hear you, bro. I'm not trying to shut you up. Just that we
No,
run
I'm
out
going
of
to go
time and
piss
you have
anyway.
to leave.